more famous, but at the moment Vivion has done something in Mondello nobody else have. He has won the last 7 Formula Ford races in a row. That has never been done before. Beside him, the young man from Sligo, that's Finn Murray. Biggest opposition to Daly, had a few wins at the start of the year, but from then on it's been Daly really pushing and dominating this Formula Ford situation. The times between them, 60.67 for Vivion Daly and 61.13 for the front row. On the inside of the second row, John Coffey, who we'll see later in the Phillips Business Systems Opel Lotus, and again a front runner here, but hasn't had his win. The lights are red, they're away, and a good start there from Murray. Daly on the inside, Murray on the outside as they head for Telecom, and it's Murray has got the lead, got the jump on Vivion Daly that time. Vivion having a look around the outside, and there's a crash there. We've lost someone there, we lost 2.
George McAlpine is one of them, the other is a Van Diemen. I can't quite see who it is. But now the marshals really got to get these cars untangled as Finn Murray heads down to Budweiser for the first time. Vivion Daly is in second place, Dennis Sheehan's in third place, very sideways there. Then we've John Coffey, and then it looks like Morgan Dempsey.
And that is the car of Fran Riley, the 18-year-old that won the Formula Ford Festival. And it's, look at Sheehan. Is it Sheehan? Yes, it's Dennis Sheehan, very, very late on the brakes there, and that lets Coffey up into third place. So it's Murray from Daly, from Coffey, as they come up the hill, and that is Cliff Dempsey in the background then, followed by Michael Edgar. And Derek M. Daly making a charge up the inside in the Caliber Van Diemen.
So, the Crosley leads, the Reynard at this moment. Then John Coffey, and they're just now getting the carnage cleared there from Telecom, only just in time. You saw the rescue truck being backed off the circuit, yellow flags out there obviously, so no overtaking can take place at that part of the circuit, but at full marks to the Irish Motor Racing Marshals, did a tremendous job there. There's John Coffey, there's Cliff Dempsey, there's Michael Edgar, and there's Derek M. Daly, and then we see Bill Griffin very well up there also.
Well, our race leaders there, young Murray at the moment pulling out a little gap, but Vivion Daly sitting nicely. He knows he's a comfortable second there. Coffey at the moment should be now making his play to put Daly under pressure, but it's a long race. 20 laps is a long time out there. Cliff Dempsey, fourth car in your picture, number 4 there, followed by Michael Edgar. This is Derek M. Daly, number 8 there, really trying hard as he comes over the hill. A man there, number 5, Michael Merrigan, usually in the first 2 rows, had a bad practice this morning for some reason, did a 61.92 and started in 8th place. You can see Daly now can use the quickest line. Murray has got to protect the inside, Alan. Do you think it's a matter of time? Vivion closing very close to him.
Well, you must be aware when the person behind you has won 8 races that he is a considerable adversary. And Vivion can really afford in this 20-lap race to play around a bit with the Crosley now. But of course, young Finn Murray is no slouch. He's had 3 wins already this year. He's just won the Northern Ireland Championship in Kirkeston. He's got that all sewn up. He's only 23 years of age. He's obviously got a big future, but he got very sideways there. He's obviously feeling the pressure a little bit, but Murray is a bit inclined to throw the car around like that. He's a spectacular driver to watch.
Yes, different styles of driving. Vivion Daly, you could put 10 penny pieces out there and he would drive it. A little look, Dempsey having a little look up the inside there, but didn't get away with it. I was saying you could put 10 penny pieces out on the track and Vivion Daly would drive over them every lap. He's so smooth, but that doesn't say he's quicker than Murray. Murray protecting the inside line there, getting the tail out. In the Dunlop Motorsport Championship in the Formula Ford section, Vivion has only got to finish second to Fionn to win that, but I know, speaking to him this morning, his attitude was, I want to win the race, and he's trying out the outside. That's a long, hairy manoeuvre. Fionn not giving him a lot of road, using all the road. That's perfectly legal, as long as he wants to keep that piece of tarmac.
Cliff Dempsey might have gone up a place there. He certainly was looking down the inside of Budweiser. We're watching the battle up front, and we're seeing, and it's still John Coffey, then Cliff Dempsey, then Michael Edgar, a much improved driver, then Derek M. Daly, Dennis Sheehan there, improving fastly, and then Alan Kelly, who had an enormous accident, not his own fault in practice, but it's good to see him out in the Van Diemen, a bit of tank tape there on the motor car, but it's still running. But look at this, now Daly's in a very threatening position at the moment. He's right in the gearbox, he's towing out. He's got to come a long way round down into Telecom, a difficult manoeuvre, but it means that Finn Murray and they both nearly took themselves off there because Finn Murray was so late on the brakes that he had to come wide.
Yes, in the last meeting here, when Vivo ran away with the £1,000 Ford of Ireland prize for the festival, this is what the battle was, and in that manoeuvre like that, he got by, but obviously Fionn remembered that one, and he's going to make it as wide as possible. On the straight, there's not much between the cars. He's got to get in tight and get a slingshot down, but he's got to get the full length of the car into the braking area, otherwise Fionn will still hold the inside of the corner and still be able to keep the lead. Now, at the moment, there's 2 feet between these. There's less than 2 feet. I say there was 6 inches there, Alan.
Absolutely, and let's not forget, but look, here comes Daly looking again up the inside. Let's not forget John Coffey in 3rd place. Tremendous performance in last year's Mondial. And it's very close indeed. They're weaving all over the place. Finn Murray, and once again Daly going to go past him a little bit earlier this time. And can he get that stretch down across the nose? He's nearly there. But once again Murray and Daly very cleverly almost trying to show him a dummy there so he could get across his bows. Daly using the curbs, he's trying.
And we see John Coffey is beginning to climb on the tail of Daly. Now, that was a close run coming out there. Came a little wide, Murray coming out of Dunlop, and left no room for Daly. Thought about looking at the inside and then thought the outside, but he's close, very close. He's having a look down the inside, he's having a look down the outside, but all the time Murray is guarding that position, getting a bit sideways. They're touching there. I was sure they touched there. The sparks are going to fly. You can't get much closer than that in motor racing, Alan.
And they've completed 5 laps, and Dennis Sheehan has moved up another place. You see Michael Edgar in the yellow car a little bit sideways in the background. There's Dennis Sheehan. He's really making progress in his Reynard up the field. So it's Crosley, Reynard, then we have Mondial, then Laser, then Mondial. And look at this. Once again, the same maneuver. And once again, now this is what he was trying to do the last time, but it's a long way round the left-hander. He's going to be left out of it again. But Vivion Daly displaying tremendous car control as he goes from lock to lock in that little car. And certainly John Coffey is right in the picture now. These two are holding each other up, and Dempsey does it. Dempsey gets up into 3rd. A beautiful maneuver.
Yes, Daly got out on the marbles there. He lost a lot of traction, but that is a nice one by Dempsey. He's up into 3rd place, and he'll be looking for that 2nd place. Coffey now in 4th. But Vivion has got to get right on the tail of Fionn. The last time, as I said, it was a case that he came out of Dunlop corner right on and then just got a slingshot. Fionn will remember that and he'll be watching for the slingshot, and he'll get him out as far as he can on the left-hand side of the road to make it the long way around. It is possible. I've seen it done. You can drive around the outside of Telecom corner if you are close enough when you're going in.
John Coffey just displaying that last lap a little bit of the inexperience. Daly, there's not going to be much of that nose cone left on the Reynard at the end of this one. He's tucked into underneath the Crosley, almost scuffing off the gearbox, which sticks out of the back of those little cars there on every lap. And there's John Coffey now in the middle of those, and the Citizen Watches jockey-sponsored Mondial, and Michael Edgar really coming up into contention also. So it's great, classic Formula Ford stuff, this.
It's great. There's a new breed, a new bunch of young drivers really going. As we said, we'll see Vivion Daly and John Coffey later on, the big one. There's the Star sponsored car of Vivion Daly. He's had his picture in the Star every time he's won. Will he have his picture on the front of the Star tomorrow, or could it be Fionn Murray? Out to the outside as they turn right in there. He's got to get close. Somebody waving frantically as they come up the hill. Daly really on the tail. This is where he's waiting for the slingshot again. That's Dempsey. That's Edgar in the yellow car. Daly right out on the grass that time.
And so heavy on the brakes that the car was vibrating all over the place. You can see the little air box almost vibrating off the motor car. And in motor racing, really, in Ireland, it's a sort of family business. The Murray family, many of them have raced. His brother Anthony, of course, a former champion here. Then you've got Daly, who, of course, we know his brothers in Indy cars. The Dempsey brothers, they're all racing. John Coffey is not so much in that vein. But at the back there, young Michael Edgar, his father Brian, who's watching very eagerly here at Mondello, also used to race Formula Fords a number of years ago.
Fionn Murray just backing off there slightly. Alan, it looked as if he missed a gear, and Daly's right on his boot. Murray watching the mirrors. He's got to protect his line. Look, that he's got an opposite lock just coming in. Lock the wheel there. total concentration. He knows Daly is waiting for the slingshot. It's got to be really on the ball. These young men are as fit as all people should be involved in heavyweight sport. We had Stephen Roach down here recently, and he was amazed just how, and he's pushed him. He actually drove into the back from there. I think possibly, has Murray got a problem getting second gear, Alan?
Could have. He certainly slowed very suddenly there, and I couldn't certainly blame Vivion Daly for that one. He's desperate now to get past, though, and of course Finn Murray quite rightly defending his position. But this is this kind of pressure that leads to mistakes, and Vivion Daly knows that only too well. Nearly got him coming out of there. Budweiser coming down now into Subaru again. He'll close up against a bit sideways, almost left the door open for Cliff Dempsey. Now this is interesting. Dempsey and the Lucas Laser could really pull off another quickie. He could pull off another flanker like he did on John Coffey, and he's right there just when they touched wheels. You could see the rubber smoke coming off the two wheels that time.
There's a little bit of damage on the nose of Daly's car. Is it a situation that he's had damage because Murray is pulling away? He's definitely flattened the nose. The pedals are in there, his clutch reservoir, the fluid for his clutch and his brakes. Is there damage on Daly's nose because Cliff Dempsey suddenly is closing all over him, and he's not as close to Fionn Murray as he was before, Alan?
There's not much in that very exposed nose cone bit of a car. The sort of brake cylinders would be a little bit further back than that, I would have thought. But he certainly has slackened off a bit now, as you say, Brian. It's unusual, but Vivion Daly, undoubtedly the most experienced man out there, and possibly a little bit worried now that this beautiful ninth win is beginning to evaporate a little bit at this time. Finn Murray taking full advantage of the situation, sliding the Crosley 67F round all over the place.
Yes, this gives Fionn a chance that he can relax now, get back on the quickest line. He doesn't have Daly right on his gearbox. He can sit, he can watch, he can judge. He can move to the outside of the circuit. Look at that. He's outside there, the outside, the fastest line. Still a bit twitchy on the braking. Daly making a move back there on the braking. There it goes, through the left-hander there. So very sideways there, Murray. Now we're watching Daly. Has he just had a little rest, Alan? He seems to be coming back ever so slightly onto the boot, or the tailgate, I should say, of young Murray's car. Number 2 there, Murray from Sligo, followed by Vivion Daly from Dublin. Cliff Dempsey in third place.
Right, we've got a sensational bit of news. A black flag was shown on the last lap there, and we think it's for Vivion Daly. So there must be something dangerously wrong with his car that the Leinster Motor Club officials want to see. And that means if the black flag is shown, he has to come in. Those are the rules. Now watch it as he comes round Dunlop this time. 35 is the number that should be on the board. Are the officials going to show it again?
Daly really on the tail of Murray again. No black flag that time. No black flag that time. If it was a black and white flag, or black with a yellow spot, it's one is to tell him that there's something wrong with the car in case he doesn't realize it, and the other is to warn him that his driving is ungenly. Because if there was a report about that incident and they felt that it was his fault that he drove into the back of Murray, they would warn him with a black and orange flag and say to him, be careful, don't do that again, or we will give you the full black flag. So what Daly, I think, has been a warning, and they're coming up on a back marker. This is going to be a problem for Murray unless he can get by through the S as he is, and Daly's got to get the same, or he'll be offline for Dunlop corner.
No problem, through they get. But Cliff Dempsey has now got, no, he's got through as well. There's John Coffey, and there is Michael Edgar, all filing through in that order, and that's our top 5 at the moment. Cliff Dempsey and the Laser up into 3rd place. Then we have in 4th place, of course, young John Coffey, and then 5th, Michael Edgar. And still this battle goes on up front. We've lost, sadly, Dennis Sheehan, who's pulled off a couple of laps ago, so his challenge is over.
This is a long race, and Daly is back in that challenging position. Cliff Dempsey, not a lonely, but a lonely in terms of Formula Ford, to have a breathing space around him. John Coffey there in the jockey shorts Mondello, followed by young Michael Edgar. And here's our leader, Fionn Murray, closely followed there by Vivion Daly, getting back right on the gearbox. It's on the main straight. Daly feels he can do it. He can't get much closer than that without touching him. He's had a warning once, we feel, so let him really try Oh, look at Murray diving to the left. He knew Daly was close that time. A little bit of nose falling. He caught Murray caught Daly's nose that time, Alan.
And there's certainly not going to be much to this nose, and you can see it actually, and they're weaving on the straight. Listen, the officials aren't going to like that too much. And Daly's got him. Daly's got him. Yes, he's on the inside line. It's all getting a bit fisticuffs there at the moment. Wheels interlocked. And that is just not on. I'm afraid Cliff Dempsey gets through into second place. John Coffey is through into third. And the Crosley must be damaged. But Vivion Daly, I think, could also be damaged.
Well, I would put that down. Fionn could see exactly where this wheel was going. It was up to him to back off. Daly got him coming down the straight, fair and square, got into the corner, turned in. And as they turned in, you'll see now Daly on the inside, Fionn just putting the right-hand front wheel in. He stays with it. Daly's car rides over the front wheel. Must have damaged his suspension. Bits flying off the car, but that is the most dangerous thing to happen in a Formula Ford race. You ride over the front wheel, front nose damage there, and Dempsey is all over the back. There's a problem, Daly, I would say, is a problem. Yes, Daly's back suspension is gone. The left-hand back suspension of Daly's car is gone. So it's now Cliff Dempsey is into the lead with John Coffey and Michael Edgar. John Coffey in the second. Vivion Daly, left-hand back suspension bent. You can see the angle of the wheel. He may continue on, but there's a good chance that suspension will collapse altogether.
And that's a very dangerous situation, because that rear suspension, it's the rear left wheel is turning right in, towing in completely. But let's not forget our new leader now, Cliff Dempsey from Ashbourne. Former experience in 850 Minis, GTs, and here he is now leading in the laser and locking up wheels, because he's under considerable pressure now from John Coffey, who realised that in the jockey-sponsored car he's in with a real shout in this one now. So the Dunlop Formula Ford 1600 race, they're coming up to complete the 16th lap of this 20-lap race, proving to be an absolute scorcher. Michael Edgar is also in with a chance in the Mondial.
Yes, young John Coffey, this is really to get the adrenaline up for the main race. He'll have a look down the inside, he'll have a look down the outside. He has got a Harry Dempsey in the Lucas battery sponsored car. Dempsey had held the lap record here for a long time. In fact, I think he still holds it a considerably fast time, but in these close quarters, we're not looking for lap records. Coffey will sit and have a look. He's seen the carnage that's happened in front to him. Now he's going very wide there. He's having a look up the inside, but it's Cliff Dempsey, number 4 there. Coffey having a look down the outside, a wrong place to go, but he's got to try and get Dempsey offline to get a pit of tarmac that he just wants to get to. And all the time, Alan, this battle's going on. Michael Edgar, who's maturing with every race, is beginning to get on the back of John Coffey.
Absolutely, bought this new car this season and suddenly became a front runner, and it's really great credit to this very likeable young man from the north. And there he is in the signing-sponsored Edgar's Shop Fitting Mondial there, very close in third place. Incidentally, in fourth, we think we have Michael Merrigan up into fourth place, just ahead of Derek Daly, and Bill Griffin an excellent sixth place at the moment. And once again, we nearly had nose cone damage that time when John Coffey got a little bit overexcited. Remember, he's going to have to climb from this motor car into one of the Opel Lotuses very shortly. So it's a very exhausting weekend here at Mondello, but he's certainly proving to be quite a young up-and-coming star, this man.
Yes, had hard luck in Birmingham when the race was cancelled, and he's all fired up. He's in fourth place for the main race. He's let Dempsey get a little car length there. It's a good idea to give him a breather, gives him a false sense, and under braking there, Dempsey made a little mistake. That would have been make it unstable, but Coffey now driving right as he should be. Follow the lines, show the inside, show the outside, then back out to the outside, get the fastest line. Bring his wheel right up for the turn, and Edgar there turning in very late, and Coffey's right on the tail again of Cliff Dempsey. Derek Daly there, really fighting hard in the caliber car. Looked again as if he was Coffey trying down the outside, but there's no way around there. He's got to be right on the tail of Dempsey coming out of Dunlop corner if he's going to make any impression there. So Derek Daly and Michael Merrigan fighting for fourth place, but our leader still, Cliff Dempsey, number 4, really been harried by number 70, John Coffey, having a look at the inside. John has got to now start to look to his rear because Edgar is beginning to climb.
And they're halfway round their penultimate lap, and it really is getting fraught now. Can Dempsey pull away a little bit now at this stage, locking up the fronts again? You can see how hard he's trying. It's a very distinctive motor car, that airbox right up at the back there. It's very different shape to most of the cars that are racing here today. And once again, Coffey looking up the inside, but Dempsey's getting those vital few seconds just when it counts. He's got that about half car length now. Can he break away and avoid giving them a tow? This is Derek M. Daly in the Caliber car, just having his own private battle for 4th place with Michael Merrigan. But we go back with the leaders on their last lap and about 3 corners to go. There's not much time left for Coffey.
Frustration will be building up on the drivers. Dempsey's got to keep the cool, Coffey's got to keep the cool, and Michael Edgar's hoping that the two of them do something silly and let him down the inside there. Coffey following Dempsey now. He's got to make a decision here, whether he's going to try him at Subaru, try him at Dunlop, or try him at Mobil, or try him on the straight. But he's got to make a decision. He either settles for 2nd place or he has one almighty chart. Very, very late in breakage there, Coffey. Coffey very late in braking there as he gets close, right in under Dempsey's tail.
And let me just tell you one lovely little story about Cliff Dempsey. Sadly, Alistair Johnson had a big accident in practice here yesterday, but his father has lent the engine to Dempsey to do this race, and what a present it would be to give Johnson a win here if he comes around. It looks like he's going to do that. Cliff Dempsey already has his fist in the air. He's won the Dunlop Formula Ford 1600 race. Coffey a very close 2nd, but who's going to be 4th? Derek M. Daly or Michael Merrigan? Daly it was. And good dices all the way down the field. Bill Griffin comes home next. And really, Brian, that was up to any Formula Ford standards, that one.
That's what Formula Ford is all about. We had Murray lead it, we had Daly lead it for a short spin, and then we had our winner there, Cliff Dempsey and John Coffey in 2nd place, and Michael Edgar in 3rd.
Yes, indeed, exciting stuff there in the Formula Ford 1600 final, not to mention controversial stuff as well. But of course, the big race here this weekend at Mondello was the Opel Lotus Challenge that was won by Mika Hakkinen, who's with me right now. Mika, congratulations to you. You led from start to finish. You made it look easy.
Yes, actually it was very easy race, but I have a little bit brake problem, but not so bad problem.
Now, you have driven in the course of this championship on some of the great motor racing circuits around Europe. How does Mondello compare?
Mondello's different. It's very bumpy and very short actually, but it's good. You have to try very hard all the time.
You have 2 rounds left in the championship. You're lying in 2nd place. Can you win?
I can't win any more British series, but I win European races.
Now, talking about Finnish racing drivers, we had Keke Rosberg, we've had JJ Lato coming through, all the great rally drivers. What makes Finnish people so good?
Everybody asking that same, and it's very difficult to answer that, but maybe Finland is a small country like Ireland and everybody wants to be best, and maybe that's why.
Well, Mika, congratulations to you on your win here this weekend, and the best of luck in the rest of the championship to you.
Thank you very much.
Now, I suppose the man with the toughest job here in Mondello for the weekend is the clerk of the course. That's Liam O'Sullivan. He's with us right now. He's a little smile on his face because it's all over for this year. Liam, it went well for you.
It went very well. Very pleased with it. We had great weather today and some exciting racing.
What exactly goes into your job for the weekend?
My job is to make sure everything runs on the track and that everything goes well. Try and organise the weather, keep good television there, that sort of thing.
Well, now, I don't know if you noticed, but Liam has a few red blotches on his face. It's not all hard work down here in Mondello because you've just been mauled by a kissogram.
Yes, I've been one of those that have been gazumped.
Well, Liam, the lady in question asked me to give you one little thing that you left after you. This is her garter, and it's the Order of the Garter for a job well done for the weekend.
I knew you were going to pull some surprise, Michael. Thank you.
All right, Liam, thank you very much indeed. And that's it then from Mondello Park for the weekend, and also from our horse racing, of course, in the Curragh. We hope that you enjoyed both very much. So
equality.